The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, build life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. Yeah. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
All right, Grand Rising to you, billionaires. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the new Black Wall Street, the Money and Power Show, where we discuss some huge topics, man, as it relates to money and the power. Money and the power. Of course, money and power. Money would be where we kind of feature and discuss, one of those areas that we don't talk much about, which would be economics, or we could call it cash flow. The other side of the coin is the power side, which would be political side. Where we could also consider that to be cash rules. And these are two areas that we have been conditioned. These are two areas where it's not much education in our public school system, but these are two areas that absolutely do have a big impact on our way of life, in society from a political side, and our lifestyle as it relates to a monetary or economic side. And so, we use this show to bring light and to educate. Free financial education for our nation. And I've actually got a couple of cool ideas as it relates to filling the political side. I've got two people in mind I'm going to reach out to today and see if we can start bringing them on to kind of, especially as the elections and the primaries and stuff start rolling in, we can get a little bit more political education because Malcolm X said that education is the passport, is the passport. So as we educate ourselves, we're able to make better decisions as like to what is ever going on in our individual or our particular cities, but there are some national policies and federal policies that apply no matter where you are. Anyway, I'm your host for the Money and Power Show. I'm ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, Study Black Wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. So you pick up your book by simply going to the website www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. Book is available in English and also French for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Pick up your copy today. Today's episode is also brought to you by ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, which specializes in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art-inspired gifts. Here at ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, we are making some adjustments here to our store as we continue to move forward in life. We just added the travel section as well, but we do have CBD products that's available. Also, your masks, which are available for you as well. As the cities are opening up, guys. We still are not quite clear what's going on with COVID-19. So don't be do your best to protect yourself and practice social distancing and all that stuff until the clear is here. And who knows if when they say the clear is here, that the clear is actually here. So these masks are here for a little while. Go ahead and invest in yourself, protect yourself, and all that stuff. If you must go out, and even if you don't must go out, most of you guys are still going out anyway. And I'm seeing some stuff. I'm like, wow, I guess it just, we think it just, I don't know, vanished like a fart in the wind. I'm not quite sure. But we do have this stuff available for you guys, especially if you're in industries where you're going to be having customer contact. We do have your face shields. We do have your shoe covers, your gloves, and things like that as well. So even if it's not for yourself, as someone that's in business, you got to do it for your customers because that is the respectful thing to do. But you can find all that stuff by simply going to our website, and you can guess what you can do when you go there. You can shop black, and you can buy black, and all that stuff as well at www.theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. Here at ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace. I want you guys to remember this, man, that it's that once you shop black, you never go back. That's right, man. Once you shop black, you never go back. Man, thanks so much, ERGJ Black Bazaar, for helping us continue to put this show on. Let's find out who's here with us this morning. As you guys, the early birds is getting the worm this morning for our free financial education. Queen Yvette has joined us here this morning. Thanks so much for joining us. King Thomas in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us, man. We're still here out of Louisville, Kentucky. That's right, man. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Home of Muhammad Ali. Man, King Loki Slick Saucy out of Charles, South Carolina. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. Grand Rising to you. Shanrika is in the house out of Concord, North Kakalaki. Grand Rising to you. Queen Tiffany out of Detroit. Thanks so much for joining us here today. King Mr. Consistent is in the house, man, out of, I believe, Nashville, Tennessee. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. Now, what we're going to do today, guys, we're going to start with our political piece. As I said, I'm making a vow to continue to move forward with our political piece, which comes from right now comes from Dr. Claude Anderson. We'll take a look at the market today, give an update on what's going on with Bitcoin. I was called yesterday. They wanted me to start doing more presentations on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So I gotta get my education back up again because there's some new stuff that has happened. But I'll be more than happy to teach what I know. And teach what I learn as it relates to cryptocurrency, which would be our digital money, which is something that we're evolving into as the world turns, right? I was making this conversation. I had this conversation with her, and I told her, at the end of the day, man, it's really just about paying attention to what goes on in life. If you first start with studying history, the history of money, the history of the economy, whatever the case may be, you'll see that it just continues to evolve, continues to change. And it would be ludicrous to think that it won't keep changing. And so being that we're in a digital age and then everybody's moving to more of a cashless society, it really only makes sense that we would also have digital money. And this would go beyond or even moving into what has now happened where we're seeing more and more work from home, more and more really don't leave your house much to do business or to transact or to get stuff, more and more deliveries, Instacart, Uber Eats. I mean, I'm just a guy who just really just pays attention to life. And I don't let the opinions of people change what I see and what I notice and what I see going on. I mean, because it's in plain sight. I'm gonna believe what I see over what I hear any day of the week. So, but if you pay attention, you can see this stuff going on. You can see this stuff taking place. You can see all this stuff. So I'll be having more conversations and bringing and just really just throwing in nuggets as it relates to what's going on with money as I see it. And obviously, as you guys see things as well, please share your experience here with us as well. Okay. And then that way we'll learn together. That's what we'll do. We'll just learn together. Today is Black Man Monday, by the way. What a great day. What a great time to show our love and appreciation for the Black man. Let the Black man know that you're proud of him today. Every Black man that you come across, every Black man that is in your circle, every Black man that you think about. Because here's the day, man, we have to start as people, regardless of what goes on out there, we have to start loving one another and showing our appreciation for one another every day. Okay, every day. I mean, life is too short, and we just must do this. And so, here today on Black Man Monday, for every brother that's out there that might be listening to this or may catch the replay, every extended man that's out there, from father to brother to uncle to son to nephew, you are appreciated, man. You're needed. You're not invisible. You're valuable, and we appreciate you here today. We all understand that we go through our own journeys in life, but regardless of that, you're still here, and thank God that you're still here. And we appreciate that He's giving you another opportunity to be here. That you do have a mission, you have something to accomplish, you have something to become. And I just pray that you would work diligently on yourself to become just that. Make the biggest difference that you can make in this world that you absolutely can make. Here today on Black Man Monday, we salute you, and we show our appreciation and love for the Black man here today. So our political piece, guys, as we move forward, comes from Dr. Claude Anderson. He's written a wonderful book that we picked up to be able to add to our show, which is a Black History Reader. And in this book, he has 101 questions that he says you've never thought to ask, and he gives his interpretation of an answer for these particular questions. And I think today's question is actually pretty apropos. as he's asked this question, why were black slaves classified as 3/5 of a human? Because, you know, the Constitution, when it was originally written, saw black folk or black slaves as 3/5 of a person. And that's been woven into society. And that's been woven into the foundation or the fabric of America. And we find ourselves still kind of dealing with the viewpoint that we're not as valuable as our counterparts, or we're not worth as much, because we do also find that the rich rule over the poor. We do also find that whites are the dominant class as it relates to capitalism and wealth and things like that of this particular nation. But not when it comes to human rights, okay? And now it comes, because you got same blood, same oxygen, different skin color. At any rate, question number 18: why are black slaves classified as 3/5 of the human? From Dr. Claude Anderson, Money and Power show. Let's find out what he has to say about this for our political piece. Let's read. Blacks were classified as 3/5 of the human to settle a battle between northern and southern legislators over the rights of states and the status of slaves as property. In 1820, shareholders wanted to bring Missouri into the Union as a slave-holding state. Northern legislators feared that if Missouri entered as a slave-holding state with a significantly large number of slaves, the southern states could outnumber the northern states in congressional representation and taxation based on property wealth. The southern states had the lion's share of the nation's slave population, which was largely classified as personal property equal to field animals. Southern slaveholders opposed paying assets and property taxes on black slaves. However, when it came to counting state voting populations to determine the state numbers of representatives in a congressional electoral college, slaveholders demanded that their slaves be counted as human voters, even though they were not permitted to vote. The Missouri Compromise of 1820, consummated between the northern and southern states, granted several advantages to the South. The South would pay no property taxes on black slaves and could count them as 3/5 of a human being for voting and congressional representation. This 3/5 solution was a compromise so favorable to the South and granted the region so much political power that it dominated and controlled the U.S. Congress for nearly 2 centuries. You might as well put in the comments, go ahead and put in the comments pineapple, because I know you learned something already. Now, no, wow, wait a minute. I mean, this is interesting here. If we understand, I mean, we begin to really put pieces together and understand what Dr. Claude Anderson is trying to teach us today. Like, you know, we I don't know about you, but when I look at 3/5 of the human, I'm like, they just didn't think of it. But here's the thing. They were able to count us as people for their agenda or for their benefit, but did not give us the right to vote, which moves into why the fight for the right to vote was so important. It has been so important because we're being counted so that you can get power, but we're not able to actually exercise a right that gives you for what you're counting us for, which would be for, again, a voting and congressional representation. This is why politics or power or cash rules, although many of us may not understand it, although many of us may not even participate, here's the reason why some of our forefathers fought for us to have the right to vote. And I'm saying, here's where I stand with it. I'm just saying I want to learn more about it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm not going to vote. I'm not saying that I am going to vote. What I'm going to say is I want to learn more about it, because I want to make sure that my vote is an educated vote, that it makes sense, that I thought about some things other than I just look at a name. I don't know who the hell you are, what you stand for. I'm just checking boxes at this point. I mean, that might be good enough for some people. It ain't good enough for me. That's why I did. That's why I created this show. I'm sure I'm going to find more people who will educate us as it relates to politics, so we can make educated decisions and not just and feel good about going to the ballot, because now we kind of know what we want to do when we get there, other than check some boxes. That's all I'm saying. So as an educator, that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to educate the nation as it relates to money and as it relates to politics, and I just believe it's going to help. But wow, let's keep reading. Pineapples. Modern-day Black Americans remain highly sensitive to the fact that their ancestors were classified as only 3/5 of a human being. Now, this is after they were classified. They were classified as property. Okay, that was progress, although we still didn't like it. But I'm just saying. Wow, it was written into the. Oh Lord. Okay. For Black Americans, 3/5 of a person provision added insult to the injuries that 360 years of enslavement as field animals had inflicted on them. The actual language of the Missouri Compromise found in Section 2 of the United States Constitution says representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states with which may be included within this union, according to their respective numbers, which shall be determined by adding to the whole number of free persons, including those bound to service for a term of years, excluding Native Indians, not taxed, 3/5 of all other persons. This section of the Constitution is also an example of the skill of the founding fathers in framing slavery and its rules without even a mention of the word. The South also used the leverage from their non-voting Black population to elect white politicians to public office, then used the Black body count against them by electing and sending to Congress representatives who will use their office to maintain white superiority and control in the South. It is noted that the 3/5 provision applied only to Blacks. It did not apply to indentured servants, white women, children, Native Indians, Asians, Hispanics, or any group included in today's fabricated class of minorities. In general, the Missouri Compromise of 1820 injured Black Americans in at least 3 different ways. The compromise allowed Missouri to, number 1, enter the Union as a slave-holding Southern state. Number 2, allow Black slaves to be counted as part of the total population. And number 3, establish an electoral college system. Everybody put in the console system that reduced the power of popular vote in national elections. Since the 1820s, Southern states have been able to outnumber the North in electoral votes and could wield enough regional political power to win most presidential elections and control the United States Congress. When the founding fathers were debating the Missouri Compromise, James Madison, a slaveholder, described the crux of the dilemma when he said that unifying the states without Blacks being counted as 3/5 of a human represented difficulty of a serious nature. As part of the compromise, Madison proposed a prototype electoral college system, which is the very same system we have today. Think about that. You know what? I'm going to do a presentation on electoral college one day. I'll probably do it this week. And when I can think about doing it, it's going to be either Thursday or Friday. Yeah, we're going to talk about the electoral college system, which is the very same system we have today, the very same system that's been around for 200 years. Think about that for a second. 200 years. The system that proclaimed Donald Trump and 4 previous presidential candidates president of the United States, even though they lost the nation's popular votes. While slavery was supposedly abolished in the 1860s and Black ex-slaves were granted voting rights, the electoral college system remains intact and linked to the red states and conservative states, which continue to count on Black bodies to win elected offices, but avoid representing Black interests in race matters and seldom provide Blacks with tangible benefits to improve their quality of life. With the increasing influence of conservatives, there's a chance that the entire United States of America just may again become all Southern, as it did when the Civil War ended in the 1860s. The electoral college system. I got to write this down to remind myself because it's been 200 years. You can't make this stuff up, people. The electoral college, 1820. Let's learn about this dang on system that continues to put people in office who actually did not win the majority vote. It don't make no sense. Okay? But maybe, I don't know. We're going to learn. Let's see what you guys talking about, man. Love you dearly, Black man. I see you. Absolutely salute, Black man. Absolutely, man. Good morning to you, Miss Melanie. Thanks so much for joining us here today. King Ryan Scott, man. Salute your brother. Thanks so much for joining us. Black man Monday. King Thomas is in the house, man. Yeah, originally back then it was Democrats who were against us voting. Absolutely. The system. All right. So let's hop into what's going on in the market, guys, and then we'll hop into the richest man in Babylon, which would be our third lesson, our third cure for a lean purse. I'll get to that in just a second. But let's find out what we might find here today. I didn't really find a whole bunch that I want to talk about, but I'll go through this stuff anyway. Absolutely, man. So news that you can use here today on the New Black Wall Street, the Black Money and Power Show, as we look into the market and a quick recap of what happened, I guess, on Friday. Let's see here. High hopes for a vaccine. Anytime that comes out, that's going to push the market up. Vegetables didn't sell last month. A whole bunch of fluff. More fluff. More fluff. Target temporary closing more than 100 stores as protests continue. That could have an impact, obviously, on Target's bottom line for the second quarter, as we're closing out the second quarter at the end of this month. January, February, March, April, May, June. So this is the last month for the quarter. So nothing really there that I want to read. At any rate, the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P pretty much was flat. NASDAQ was actually up on Friday. I'm actually getting closer. I'm about $200 away from my midway point. For those that don't know, I'm on a journey to 10,000 of my cash out fund portfolio. So I just gonna the reason why I'm doing it like this, I just want people to, I just want to show people, show you, boom, boom. It's like, you can't be like, can't happen. No, I'm just $20 a day, maybe a little bit more sometimes, just depending on what's going on. And we're going to get there. I'm going to get there. I don't know about you, but I'm going to get there. $10,000, my road to 10K. I'm almost halfway there. And we ain't even got through the end of June. I'll be there by the end of this month. I'll be there probably the next 2 weeks. I don't know, halfway. And then I got 6 more months left. Oh, Lord. Y'all know I'm probably going to make it with ease. Anyway, let's see what's going on here. I don't really see anything I want to read. The economy is reopening. We know that. Of the economy reopening, there are some things that have changed. Again, paying attention to society. There are some things that are still here to stay. Reopening just means to me that, you can freely go spend your money wherever you want to go spend your money. And we know people are going to spend their money. We also understand that some jobs may not be coming back, but that just means you got to find another way to earn some money, which is why I continue to promote the e-commerce stores. Because while more people are going to be staying at home, more people are going to be shopping online. And if you don't have an online presence, Black-owned business, by the way, then you are behind the times at this point. Let me just go ahead and say it. If you're a Black-owned business and you do not have an internet presence at this point in 2020, what the hell are you waiting on? That's what I want to say. I just want to say that because maybe if it comes from me, you probably still won't listen. All right? You're a Black-owned business in 2020. And I don't care what business it is that you run, and you do not have an internet presence. I don't care if you're a barber, you still need an internet presence. Why? So people can do online scheduling with you, and then that help you when you come to managing your day. I don't care what it is that you do, right? And you don't have an online presence. What are you doing? What's taking so long? What's the problem? Get with the program, okay? Okay, let me just help you out, right? Get with the program. You are behind the times, and we continue to be behind the times. The whole world is moving. The whole world is evolving, but you're trying to stay for some reason with what we can say, well, it's been working this long. Well, let me tell you something. If you keep saying that, you're going to be out of business soon. Yeah, it may have been working. It may have worked for the point to get you to this point. I'm trying to tell you what's going to help you move forward if you really do want to grow this business that you have been working on and building, for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I mean, some of our legacy businesses. We don't want them to become history. Where once upon a time we used to go here, and I remember when this store was here. And now it's history. And now it's boarded up, and all we can do is just, have like a memorial for that business that's no longer there. Because that business did not want to evolve. It wanted to stay mom and pop. It just kept thinking that for some reason, people are going to start coming back in the doors. No, times have changed. Times have changed. Why haven't you changed with it? Okay? Times have changed. Look, I'm doing a show virtually on Facebook and YouTube. Times have changed. We can create our own media at this particular time. Times have changed. In the comments below, I'd like for you to share one experience that you have now, that you realize and recognize how something has changed over time. It's not what it used to be. It's not that it's the industry isn't there, but it has simply changed how we operate in that particular industry, how we operate in society. Name something in the comments below that has changed over time that you recognize. Now, obviously, one of the things I'll talk about is money. Right? The way in which we transact business. We're no longer really going to the banks and writing checks. I mean, some people are, but now we got Cash App, we got PayPal, we got Square, we got all these ways in order to transfer money from one to another from our mobile phone. Many of us that are millennials or the next generation ain't even thinking about going to a bank. Now, the older generation still talking about that they ain't going to bank, and we ain't even thinking about going to a bank. Why? Why do I need to go to a bank? I just don't have a reason to anymore. I mean, the only reason I go to the bank is to get change. That's it. If I try to avoid the bank as much as possible, because I don't like those long lines, they only got one teller in the building. It just don't make no sense. So times have changed. Whether we want them to or not, it is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. All right. So we saw on Friday some gainers. Domino's Pizza was up, Paycom, and I'm just imagining, guys, that all these places that have something to do with making life easier through this new normal is going to be doing just fine. Oil is at $35.38. You guys don't remember, about a month and a half ago. I mean, look where oil was. Look where it is. Look where I told y'all it was going. Go figure. Right? Gasoline is at $1.76 across the country. I was actually surprised when I went to the gas pump yesterday, and I just kept, I'm so used to it going to $30, $40. I was like, it's no way my tank could be full at this particular time. I kept clicking the button like, keep going, because I was like, no way. There's no way. And then I was just like, I guess it's full. And I got in the car, and it was full. And I was like, wow, it only cost me $20. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Right? Hey, Ryan Scott said, man, home tours and apartment tours are virtual now. They're virtual now, right? How we communicate with each other, many payment processes, the way we shop. What do you mean? The way in which we shop. More people are on social media than in your state. Absolutely, man. You're missing the bag being online, right? Can't get right. You get right or get left behind. That is exactly what's happening. We are in the midst of a shift. Of a society shift. We're in the midst of a shift, black people. And here's what happens. With all the stuff, you will get lost in the sauce if you keep paying attention to TV, you keep watching everything else that's going on. Now, not that stuff that isn't important, but I'm just saying, don't get lost in the sauce and raptured in the stuff that's going on in the world, and you do not shift with the world. That's where you don't want to be. Okay? Oil has went up. Yes, it's going up. Love it. Do y'all remember I told y'all it was going to go up? I said, listen, that means it's a valuable commodity. It ain't going to stay this low forever. And what's going to follow it? What do you think is going to follow it, right? Why is it going up? This is a great question, see? If we say it's going up, then we say, well, why is it going up? And it really don't make no sense why it's going up the way it's going up. But there's something going on that we probably don't hear, don't see, right? That's not being reported because it ain't sexy to talk about oil. Who's going to sit here and talk about oil? It's boring to talk about oil. So you'll never see it really on TV. You'll never see it in the highlights. You'll never see them really writing about it or talking about it because it ain't super sexy. It's super sexy to talk about technology, right? See, one of the quotes that come from so I don't know who it is. It's probably, I don't know who it is. But he said, man, investing is like watching paint dry on it's like watching paint dry. It really ain't super exciting. And that's why many people, they kind of gravitate towards real estate investing because it's a little bit more hands-on, a little bit more exciting. You can kind of see stuff develop over time. But either way works for me. Why not do both? That's what I say. I mean, do it all as much as you can, much you can learn, as much you can apply and implement. How we communicate via technology on the phone. Look at this. Instant messages, voice calls and messages, calling costs. Look at that. All this stuff going down. How many guys remember back in the day you have to pay extra to call internationally? Now you can use an app and talk to people internationally for free. You ain't got to hit the dial. You got to dial one. You ain't even got to dial no zip. You got to dial zip code. That's about it. All right, 770. Man, anyway, online versus in-store shopping, right? Don't get lost in the sauce. Don't get lost in the sauce. Now let's take a look, quick click here, see what else is going on. So gold is at 1742, silver 1855. That's kind of going up. I remember gold probably about 3 months ago was at about 1600. So we can take a look at the chart of gold. We'll probably do that coming up. Matter of fact, we might do that today because we're going to talk about gold today. So might as well do that today. And we'll take a look here at metals, take a look at gold, maybe. Nope, not that way. Okay, I'll do it another way. My other way. Let's take a look at the price of gold this morning. Precious metals. Take a look at gold over the past 5 years. That's really it. So we're in 2020. We can see in February of this year, gold was at about 1600. So that will put our March, May, June, right? 2 months later, we're at 1700. So we can see the rise of the value or the price of gold per ounce. So those who might own gold, or those who have an ETF that's following the price of gold, I do, GLD. That particular asset is feeling pretty good as long as I'm on the long side of it. So we can see. But now if we go back, I mean, gold still has not reached its highs from back in 2012, back in 2011. That's going back 10 years. And those were as high as gold got. So, again, what can I say about this? Like the next, 6 months, when we start getting into November, December, when we start getting into, okay, well, who's going to still be running our country, which more than likely is going to be Trump over the next 4 years, then this will be good to see where gold, the price of gold goes, where the economy is at that particular time, and as the whoever it is, takes office or stays in office, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens and what really happens to the belief in people, like the people who are the using eyes, everyone in this world that is actually putting their money into these assets, investing in these assets. Be interested to see the confidence. That's what I'm looking for. The confidence of the people as it relates to gold, or as it relates to stocks, or as it relates to real estate, or anything like that. As it relates to money, right? The faith of the people is actually what really kind of moves the market. And we'll see that in just a second. The faith of the people, right? The belief of the people is what really moves the market. We'll see that just in just a second. The Dow Jones is down 11% for the year. The NASDAQ has creeped back up to 5%. If you take a look at some of your investment accounts, you probably have seen that your accounts are getting back to their levels that they were before 3 months ago. S&P 500 down 5%, depending on where you are, or how heavily you're invested in either one of these areas. It determines where you stand today. But look at this, the emotion that's driving the market. Now we're creeping back up into the greed area. Over at 52, we're above neutral. More money has just been piling in and piling back into the market. And I've been fortunate enough to be in front of it and not necessarily chasing it. And hopefully you have too. Because there's nothing new under the sun. We've seen this before. You simply bet on the side of progress, and progress continues to happen. Let's see what you guys talking about here. Don't get lost in the sauce. Pay extra to pay to someone in the next country. Yeah, that changed as well. All right, so that's that, and then we'll take a look also at cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency, I'll probably start covering this a little bit more for you guys. Just really doing a quick breakdown. I'm only going to get into Bitcoin this morning, but I used to do this all the time. I've been an investor in Bitcoin since it was $1,200. It's now $9,500. So just do the math. I've been a guy I was one of the first guys for many people, as far as a black man, to really push it out and say, hey, black folk, take a look at this. This is something that might be of interest. So I've been that guy. And for those that's been following me for a while, you know that to be true. But anyway, you can lead people to water, but you can't make them drink. And I just simply drink what I talk about, and I do just fine. So cryptocurrency, this is coinmarketcap.com. This is a place that you come just to get an overview. This is almost like looking at what we just looked at for the stock market, being a recap or being a summary of things that's going on. Cryptocurrency, there are 5,534 cryptocurrencies out there that have been created. And I'm not going to get into what a cryptocurrency is today. If we need to do a teaching on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, all that stuff, I do have a class on what is Bitcoin, or how to Bitcoin is what I call it. I'll pop that link up if you really want to learn more about it. Then you can take the class. Markets, right? It's 22,713 markets. This means places. Markets would be a place where a buyer and seller can come together for a transaction. So there's 22,000 markets where a buyer and seller can come together to make a transaction on cryptocurrency. All right. Market cap would be how much money is in this particular market. So in the cryptocurrency space, there are $268 billion in this particular market. Not quite as much as Forex, where it's $1 trillion market, right? But that's a lot of money that has faith or belief in this particular market. So it's another asset class. It hasn't really been defined as an asset class yet, but it is another asset class. Or we can say it's another market. You have the stock market, you have the real estate market, you have foreign exchange, that's a market. You go commodities, that's a market. And cryptocurrency is a market in it of itself. Got $101 million that have transacted or changed hands in the past 24 hours. And of this market, right, it is dominated, right, by Bitcoin. Everybody putting also dominate. It's dominated by Bitcoin. Of this $268 billion market, Bitcoin dominates this market. 65% of it has to do with Bitcoin. In other words, you have $175 billion of that 268 billion is in Bitcoin. Now, how does Bitcoin really move? Just like any other economic asset, it's all about supply and demand. The more people that want it and are putting their money behind it, the more expensive it gets. It's just that simple, right? So if you have a whole bunch of people, it's like, man, let me go get some Bitcoin. Let me go get some Bitcoin. Let me go get some Bitcoin. There's only so many people that's selling it right now. But where a buyer and seller meet, and if there's more sellers in the pipeline waiting to buy, then and there's only so many buyers who have it in order to sell, then the price is going to go up. That's just how supply and demand works. Big demand, right? For a month ago, we had a big demand for what? Masks. So there was a big demand for masks. The masks were not available on Amazon or eBay or anything like that. They weren't allowed to be transported into the country. So there's a big demand for masks in order to protect ourselves from COVID-19. There was limited supply. And what happened? When you want to go buy a mask that used to be $3, it was now $10. That's supply and demand. Everybody putting console supply and demand. So when there's huge supply and there's limited demand, when there's huge demand and there's limited supply, that's where the price goes up. It's simple economics. Stuff that we learned back in the 3rd grade that we can apply today to get rich. It's just that simple. Now, another thing about Bitcoin is that it is limited supply. It is limited supply. They're only going to make so much of it. And I'll talk about that another time as it relates to the supply of this digital coin or this cryptocurrency that's called Bitcoin. Okay. So maybe Friday I'll do a little bit more extensive talk about Bitcoin. And then maybe Fridays I'll use it as my cryptocurrency day because I like to have fun on Fridays. And so maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it just for the BBC. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do just yet. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be exclusive teaching or not. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know. Depending on how y'all treat me. All right. So Bitcoin itself right now is the dominant coin, 65% of the whole cryptocurrency space, Bitcoin. There's reason for that. Been around the longest. First one to come out. It's the one that's believed upon the most. It's a lot of things about Bitcoin, but it's currently $175 billion in this particular market. The price, right, per coin is $9,539. The volume over the past 24 hours, as far as transactions are concerned, $28 billion have transacted, have moved hands one way or the other for this thing called Bitcoin. There's only so much supply. 18,391 coins are in supply right now. These digital coins, 18,391. So you take 18.391, you multiply it times the price, right? $1,539, and that's how you get to 175. 18 times 9, pretty much probably about 172, something like that. Okay? And then you have, where it's been over the past 24 hours, up down 0.43%. We see a 7-day graph here. We can go further out. We start looking at other platforms where Bitcoin has been as far as price, where it is today, things like that. Okay? Just a quick summary of what's going on with Bitcoin. I think it's important for us to come over here and look at these numbers from time to time. I haven't done it in a while, but it's okay. I'm back at it. Good morning to you, Queen Alicia. Thanks so much for joining us. A grand rising to you, man. What's up, Loki? What's up with you, man? Carlson talking about that 4X, that $1 trillion market. Dominate. That's right. Dominate. That's right. Grand rising to you, Queen. Amanda's in the house. Supply and demand. Absolute supply and demand. Right. Supply and demand. Wow. Absolutely. Okay. So I'm not going to take any questions about Bitcoin right now. I got to figure out when I want to, kind of maneuver and massage this thing in. We will. What we got going on? Tonight, we do have a special presentation from my brother who'll be with us tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, so that would be a little breakdown of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. I'll start talking more about that, guys. As I said, it's something that I have been talking about and have discussed and brought to people's attention since it was about $800 a coin. So you just 10x that or 100x that, something like that, and you get to where it is today, okay? But today we want to continue along. Oh, it's 8:40. Where did the time go? Oh, Lord. Jesus. Have I been talking for 42 minutes already? Lord, I thought I was going fast. I thought I was going to look up and going to say 8:22. It say 8:42. It's okay. 7 cures for a lean purse. This comes out of Richest Man in Babylon. This particular book is the book that helped me go from being a financial zero to a financial hero. This particular book, after not only did I acquire the knowledge, not only did I read it for knowledge, I read it to apply. After I applied what it told me to do, I got out of debt. After I applied what it told me to do, I began to get rich. As I applied what it told me to do, I began to build wealth, not only for myself, but for my family and for those that are connected to me. And then not only that, not only did it after I applied that, did I do that, then I began to open up opportunities for other people to get out of debt, for other people to get rich, for other people to build wealth, because I had learned something. And I found it to be my duty that if I learned something, to share what I've learned with my community, because each one teach one. Matter of fact, there's some things that you've learned. My question is, have you shared it with your community in one way, form, or another? Each one teach one. It takes a village. Are you doing your part? Because we can't rely on the system to teach our children when we should be teaching them what we've learned, whatever that is. And then what we haven't learned, we need to get other people, hire those other people to teach them what we haven't learned. Because some of us haven't learned about money. And that might not be your area. That's my area. Get them in front of me. I'll teach them what I can. I'll teach them what I know. And hopefully they'll stay out of debt, won't go there. Hopefully they will build wealth and get rich and build wealth as well. Because they start out from ground zero and they move forward. They're going to make some mistakes along the way. That's just what we do. What we learn, we take the principles and we apply. Third cure for a lean purse. So as we remember, Arcad, who is the richest man in Babylon, he is talking to 100 men in the city where they're broke, busted, and disgusted. And they're in the temple of learning. There's 2 temples there. There's a temple of learning, there's a temple of wealth. You got to go through the temple of learning first before you get through to access to the temple of wealth. Everybody put in the console, learning comes first. And so he shared with them his story about how he got rich. And then he began to share some steps, some principles that they could apply to begin to start their journey towards wealth, or start their journey to building their money tree, or whatever you want to call it. The first cure that he mentioned was, hey, out of all that you earn, part of all that you earn is yours to keep. Pay yourself first, 10%, right? And live off 90% of your income. That's the first lesson that he taught. He asked him, hey, go ahead, try it out, debate it, discuss it, find out if that won't work for you. He said, man, if you do that, you're going to notice that you don't really miss the 10%, but it's over here building up over time. And next thing you know, you're looking at your bank account like, wow, I got $500 saved. Oh Lord, I got $1,000 in my bank account. I ain't never had $1,000 in my savings account. Oh wow, it just reached 1,500. Oh my goodness. Right? It starts to build wealth over time. Then the second cue, he said, man, once you have developed this habit, let's move on to step number 2, because we want to make sure that we protect this over here. You got to control your expenses. Because as you grow and develop, as you get more money, you're going to have more opportunity to spend it or more opportunity to invest it. It's going to require you to control yourself and control your expenses, right? So that was cure number 2. And it simply said that this then is a cure for lean purse. Budget your expenses that you may have coins or money to pay for your necessities, to pay for your enjoyments, and to gratify your worthwhile desires without spending more than 90% of your income. In other words, if it don't fit, you must have quit. If it doesn't fit in your 90%, you must have quit. You must abort. You say no to yourself. Say no to yourself. Today we'll start. We're not going to finish this first part of the third cure. The third cure for a lean purse. The third cure for a broke bank account. The third cure for a hole in your wallet. The third cure for broke, busted, and disgusted. Here's a third cure. Here's a third cure. Make your money multiply. Make your money multiply. Now notice that this is the third step, not the first step. Some of us are trying to do the third step as the first step, but we haven't done the first step nor the second step. So even if we are learning a little bit about multiplying our money, it's not really making a big difference. We're still feeling like we're just going paycheck to paycheck because we haven't taken care of step 1 and step 2. Everybody put in console, trust the process. I mean, we're stubborn children. Let's be honest. We like to skip steps because we want to get all the way to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but we really don't want to drive or take the whole journey to get to the end. We're in a hurry. Make your money multiply. Let's find out what Mr. Clason, a book that's been around for over 100 years or close to it, has to say to us today as we learn how to get rich. We learn how to build wealth. We understand that financial literacy is available to us. And it does not require that it comes through the public school system. It can come through the home system of learning, the home system of education. Because once you learn, it's going to be your duty to teach your children and your grandchildren and however many other people that you come across in your life. Make your money multiply. So behold, he says, your lean purse or your broke bank account is beginning to get fat. Pretty hot and tempting. Though you have disciplined yourself to leave therein 1/10 of all that you earn. You've disciplined yourself. You have controlled your expenses to protect your growing treasure. Next, we will consider means to put your treasure to work and to increase. Put your money to work for you so that it can increase. He said, gold in the purse is gratifying to own and it satisfies, or money in your purse is gratifying to own and satisfies a miserly soul, but earns nothing. The gold you retain from your earnings is but the start. It's just the beginning. The earnings it will make shall build your fortunes. So it's not the money that you make from your job, right? That's the start. Or however it is that you make your money, that's the beginning. And you retaining some of it, that's the start. But it's what your money does, is as what your money goes out and does for you, that's where you actually begin to build fortune. So you understand, man, it's like, wow, I've been working this job for this long, but I still feel like I only make so much. I still feel as if I don't make enough. Well, here's the truth. The truth is you actually probably do make enough to get rich. You just haven't, number one, you haven't had a process to follow, which is I paid myself first. Number two, you haven't disciplined yourself. Because I know some people that make $12 an hour, they worth $500,000. So let's not get that twisted. I also know people that make $1,200 an hour and they still living paycheck to paycheck. So let's not get it twisted. It's not about how much you earn, it's what you do with what you earn, it's how much you keep. It's what you do with what you earn. Now, yes, you and I, we can all stand to earn more money. And we absolutely can earn more money because earning potential is unlimited. As long as you increase your value to the marketplace, you'll demand that the marketplace pays you as much. If you bargain with life for a penny, it'll pay you no more. But what if you bargain with life for $1 million? It'll pay you just that. But once you get the money in your hand and you have you started with the first principle, and then you went to the next one, making sure that you're disciplining yourself, that as your money increase or your income increase, your expenses don't necessarily increase. Then you get to this place where you say the earnings that your money shall make shall build your fortune. Everybody put console, build my fortune. Who 851? Oh Lord, I might have to start off with this. I don't know what's going on. Time flies when you're teaching good. And, that must be what it is. Ain't just when you're having fun, when you're teaching good. Some of y'all still ain't hit the like button, by the way. You still ain't hit what's going on here? I got 4 little clicks. You can't click the little, come on now. All this good teaching, you can't at least just do something that's free, like click the button and just say, I like this. I appreciate this, brother. I'm learning something today. Let me hit like, love, care. Let's hit angry. I hit something. So spoke Arcad upon the 3rd day of his class, his 3rd day of money class. How many guys would love to just have a week of money class? Like, wouldn't that be beneficial? A week of money class. Like have the wealthiest people in our land or the wisest people in our land as relates to money that say, you know what? This week we go into such and such elementary and we're going to have money class for a week. That's what I'm trying to build. How therefore may we put our gold to work? My first investment was in fortune, for I lost all. Its tale I will relate later. My first profitable investment was a loan I made to a man named Agar, shield maker. Once a year, did he buy large shipments of bronze brought from across the sea to use in his trade. He was lacking sufficient capital to pay the merchants. He would borrow from those who had extra coins. He was an honorable man. His borrowing he would repay together with a liberal rental as he sold his shields. Now, some of you guys listen to the BBC, and you have participated in this thing we call P2P, right? Peer-to-peer lending. Is this not what we did? Was there not a man named ERGJ who would come in and say, hey, let's go buy some stuff. Let's practice group economics. But he might have been lacking sufficient capital to pay for the stuff that we could actually participate in group-wise. Right? Did he not borrow some coins from those who had a little extra? And was he not an honorable man? Somebody that you trust? That he would repay, everybody put in console, repay. That he would repay together with a liberal rental, which would mean interest, as he what? As he sold the stuff. Is that not what we did? Is that not what's going on? Now, some people haven't participated in that because they didn't join the BBC. They're still wondering what the heck it is. I don't know. They can take their time. It don't matter. But then what did you do? Effectively, for those that participated in that program, you simply became a lender instead of a borrower. That's what you did. You became a lender instead of a borrower. And on the lending side, that's where you actually earn interest. That's where compound interest works for you. And Albert Einstein says this: those who those who understand it, earn it. Those who don't, they pay it. What is he talking about? He called it the 8th wonder of the world. He's talking about compound interest. And so to think about it and say, man, wait a second. I got my money in my savings account and it's not really earning much more for me. And that's where we got our money, right? We talked about getting that job, getting that check, and put our money into a savings account. It really don't do much for us. It's better than putting it under your bed, but it's not much better. But finding places where you can become a lender instead of a borrower. Finding places where instead of getting that 0.15% in the bank account, you can get 15% in 30 days, 15% in 60 days, that with honorable people that you can trust, that you realize, well, he may not have the capital, but he's got a net worth. He may not have much money today, but I can see the money that he got. And if he had to, he could just sell that stuff and he can make sure that I get paid. I can see that these companies, they have over $240 billion in assets. They're way over, they have way more assets than they have liabilities. They've been around for a while. I can trust them. Compound interest. You become a lender instead of a borrower. It's the same thing that the Bible told you to do. When you're blessed in the city, blessed in the field, you shall be blessed, and you shall be a lender. You shall lend to many nations. Oh, yeah. You shall lend to many nations, and you shall not borrow. I believe that was in Deuteronomy. I believe that was in the blessed side of living, the blessed side of choice, by the way. You shall lend to many nations. Now, I don't see too many songs that sing that. I don't see that. I mean, I see the head, but not the tail. I see above and about belief. I see all that. But then when you get to this part, you shall lend to many nations, and you shall not borrow. That's on the blessed side of choice. That's on the blessed side of free will. That's on the blessed side of obedience. He said, each time I loaned to him, I loaned back also the rental he had paid to me. Therefore, not only did my capital increase, but his earnings likewise increased. Most gratifying was it to have these sums returned to my purse. I love this song, right? D'Angelo, right? For those that participate or have participated in the program, where you put your money out to an honorable man, and he paid you back, plus interest. In the comments below, I'd like you to answer this question. How does it feel when? That's D'Angelo, man. How does it feel? Right? Gratifying to the soul. Right? To have your sums, the money that you put out. Number one, I had to feel some type of way, say, man, okay, I'm going to try this. Even though it's hard for me to trust people with money, I'm going to try this and see if he does what he says he's going to do with a small amount of money. That's why I make it so small. I say, man, no, let's start small so we can build trust, because trust is built over time. And I understand that many of us have a hard time trusting black folk when it comes to money. So let's start small. How does it feel when that money comes back to your purse and it brings some baby's kids? It brings some extra coins with it. No matter how small, because there's a lot more than you get in your savings account. So it got to feel better than the savings account, at least. I don't know. How does it feel? That's going to be for anything. I mean, you might have done it in other places. I don't know. I don't know what you've been doing with your money. But how's it feel? How's it feel? They said, man, I was most gratified. Most gratified. So I tell you, my students, a man's wealth is not in the coins he carries in his purse. It is an income he builds, the golden stream that continues to flow into his purse and keep it always bulging. This is what every man desires. That is what each one of you desires, an income that continues to come whether you work or travel. Passive income. That's what he's talking about. Everybody put guys on passive income. This is what each man desires, to have money or income coming into his wallet, whether he works, whether he travels, whether he sleeps. Money is always coming in because he's become a lender and not a borrower. He's become a lender and not a borrower. It's part one, guys. We got still more to go for our third cure for a lean purse. Make your money multiply. See, my money's like baby kids. It don't die, multiplies. Make your money multiply. Catch up on the comment, lender and not a borrower. Absolutely, man. How does it feel? Fantastic, man. Got the smile on, man. It would feel great. Wonderful, right? Baby. Hey, baby. Amazing. Absolutely just feels good to be a lender. Absolutely, man. Passive income, right? Passive income, passive income, passive income, passive income. The comments below, I'd like for you to share something that you learned today, man. We had a wonderful time here today, but we got to get ready to go. We've got a political piece that we talked about, man. Why blacks were denoted as 3/5 of a human in the Constitution, right? We went over a quick recap on stock market, quick recap on what's going on in cryptocurrency market, or which is dominated by Bitcoin. And we've just had our teaching from the richest man in Babylon, the first part of the third cure for a lean purse, which is multiply your money. I'm simply asking you to answer this question in the comments below. Was this worth your time and why? Free financial education for the nation. I don't do this just to do this. I do this to make a difference. And my goal every day is to make a difference in your heart and in your mind and ultimately in your life. See, my main thing is to show black folk particularly that it can be done, that it is being done. We just simply have to choose to do it. That it can be done, that it is being done. We simply have to choose to participate and or do it. Tonight, we'll have a special presentation as you guys are typing. I know I talk much faster than you type, so I'll give you a couple moments to share your thoughts with us here today as it relates to the impact that we've made in your life today. Your pineapple moments, moments of thought. Maybe it's already stuff you already knew, but you said, man, this was good anyway. Tonight at 8 o'clock, we'll have Tribe Worldwide Apparel. It's not my shirt I got on today, but you'll see a lot of the shirts that I wear. I'd actually come from them out of Philadelphia. It's a brother, a black man, who is the chief owner of that company. He'll be with us here tonight and share with us some of the stuff that he does as we bring back the Black Business Home Shopping Network tonight on Black Black Man Monday. But not only will he be sharing, what he's built and some of the stuff that's pretty dope that you might be interested in, he'll also be sharing with us some opportunities that we have to be able to make money with them. As I said, man, as I grew and developed, I began to make sure that I provided opportunities for other people, so they could go through, they could have similar success as I have had, whatever success that is. As I continue to move forward, hopefully I can help other people move forward as well. Well, he's doing the exact same thing in his field. And so I said, man, I got to bring you back on. I've had him on before, so we're gonna be bringing back the Black Business Home Shopping Network here tonight with our brother, Chieftain Ron Green from Tribe Worldwide Apparel. Okay, Tribe Worldwide Apparel. We'll find out all other stuff he's doing as he continues to build and grow in his particular area. Said, man, better to be a lender and not a borrower. Absolutely. So thankful for a chance to change my mindset. 3/5 of human for political purposes. Be a lender and Bitcoin. It's a learner today. Trust is important when it comes to your money. You show us trust every day. Absolutely. I felt hopeless and trapped before, but man, thank God he gave me some more time. Thank God he gave me some more time. This is the New Black Wall Street and our Money and Power show. And I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator. I want you guys to remember this. Information is always uplifting, edifying, worth every second. That it takes a village. And it starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, it's time to get up, get out, and go get something. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The New Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We'll see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.